I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. When did the disciples become, quote, saved? Now, this is a great question, and here's why. What we know is the disciples, those famous 12, spent 3.5 years walking, talking, ministering alongside Jesus Christ. None of them were, quote, saved during those 3.5 years. And the reason is, what we know is the term saved cannot happen until after Jesus Christ has risen from the grave. That's why Matthew 27:52 is so important. When it says, when Jesus Christ rose from the grave, many of the saints of old rose and walked in the holy city with him. Yes, they were followers of Jesus. Yes, they were disciples. But understand, salvation, as that term is used strictly, cannot happen technically until after the empty tomb. So the question is, when did the disciples become saved? Well, Jesus gave us a very interesting insight to how we would know that somebody was saved. He told us that when we were saved, that the Holy Spirit would dwell within us. That spirit of disobedience, Ephesians 2:2, would be replaced by the Spirit of God. Well, in the Gospel of John, chapter 21, right before the end of the Gospel of John, right before Jesus is to ascend into the heavens, there is a moment there where he's speaking to the disciples, and it says he breathed on them and said, "Receive you the Holy Spirit." So again, what you and I refer to commonly as salvation or being saved happened in the disciples' life post-resurrection when Jesus breathed the Holy Spirit in them, which is why Acts chapter 2 is so critical, because those new believers received the Spirit of God in their life and were, quote, saved too. And 1 Corinthians 6:19-20 says that when you and I become a believer, the Holy Spirit dwells within us. The disciples did not have this Holy Spirit within them until Jesus breathed on them at the end of the Gospel of John. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.